Hey,
Paco,
hey, what's up, Dimitri?
please. Big fan here. How you doing, sir? Thank you so much for doing this.
Yes, sir. My pleasure, man. Thanks for reaching out.
Absolutely. I want to give you a little background if we can start with it. I actually have been in Randall County multiple times. I do two major businesses that cover entire United States. One is I have a platform where I recommend contractors to the homeowners. It's called directory.com. I have 8 recommendations in your area. Like you have Richard Turner, Camel Roofing Companies, you have Miguel Palapa. So we do background checks, we do financial checks. I mean, we take our recommendations seriously because we back them with our own money. Anyway, I also have underlayment business, roofing underlayment, where I ship pallets of underlayments to these roofers. And same thing, I have amazing companies in your area. I've been there many, many times visiting those businesses. So I know you have good guys. And that's why when I saw what's happening with the Mary Jane, it was such an insane story. Not only, what she's doing today, but the stuff she got away with, because I've been in this space for over 15 years and I'm in Minnesota. We on the YouTube channel, we cover a lot of fraud and scam alerts. And I'm telling you this, if what Mary Jane did happen in Minnesota or Florida, she would be in jail. I've seen contractors serving jail time for like couple $1,000 thefts. I mean, she has such a big case. Like, I just can't understand how she's still walking. And if it's okay with you, I would like to lead with it and then talk about you and talk about your comedy. But this is crazy. Looking from outside in, it's crazy. I've never seen anything like that.
Yeah. So, well, it has to come down with law enforcement doing their
I agree.
job. It
I
has
agree.
to. And it has to do with people making things known, like you are. You're helping a lot of people in their businesses that are getting ripped off on the personal side. But then law enforcement has to step in. They have to do something at some point. For that particular case, I don't have any dealings with it. I know where the business is. When I worked for Archdale Police Department, where the business is located, I answered an alarm call there. That's about my extent to that company. But now, since all this has been brought out, which luckily it is, and luckily, thank goodness for you to help these business people get paid and see the right and see the wrong.
The problem with all of that is we're not seeing people getting paid. And like, I guess my first question is why she hasn't been arrested and why she still continue to operate freely, because we have a victims. We have so many people. I mean, imagine like if you labor, right? Like if you're a gutter guy, siding guy, and someone owes you $100,000. I mean, $100,000 is a lot of money to me. I'm pretty sure to you. Like, but to the small business, 100K, it's a lot, right? So she's writing these bad checks. She has no intention to, and this is going for 5 years now. Every like since, and for what it's worth, she doesn't have a even have a roofing license. To my knowledge, she doesn't have a driver license because she's been revoked. How she's still driving? So how do we have a contractor who keep changing business names? Even today, I got a tip, and I'll share this with you for the first time. I got a tip that she's trying to open yet another LLC and open yet another ABC Supply account to buy materials. She has no intent to pay those bills. She goes, opens, new account at Lumberyard. Anybody who will give you her credit line will rack up that bill, no intention of paying it, and then that will do it again later to others. Unfortunately, it's very sad, but now we do have homeowners coming out saying they gave her deposits. So you have plenty of victims. And I know we'll talk about Greg, but his yard sign is right there. I personally feel it's assault and a spit in the face of all the victims. It's pretty much saying, hey, I am above the law. You see that business? You see that sheriff sign? Like, this is how we roll. I don't have a driver license, I can drive. I have all the judgments, but guess what? I'm doing what I'm doing. And it's a name of God, it's a name of church. She still does it, does the business in the county. Like, like, do people there see this stuff, or I'm the only one who sees it?
No, you're probably not the only one, but you're the only one that's making it known. You're right. How do you operate a business, rip people off that's been proven through courts and judgments, drive around with no driver's license? How do you do that? That's a great question. I don't have the answer other than people are not aware. But now people are aware. I'll guarantee now she probably won't be driving on the streets. because it's not targeting anybody. It's bringing out what people are doing that is wrong, and it's wrong morally and it's wrong legally. So we got to get that balance together all across, not just for this one particular incident that you brought to light, which good for you for doing that, and for many other people.
I have a couple questions about this case, just generic questions. Do you believe the law enforcement in the County has been too lenient or possibly influenced in cases like her? Because, like, if that would happen here in Minnesota, for example, if I reported a guy who used to work for me, same thing, stole from his church like $80,000. He got prosecuted by Eden Prairie Police Department. I talked to detectives. I testify in court. He got felony charges. He has to pay restitution. One charge, one case, done. Record for his life, right? Here you have multiple cases, and it seems to me that everybody's closing their eyes. And what happens if an average citizen wrote bad checks for years? Like, do they get away with it? Would they get the same treatment as Mary Jane is getting, right? Like, if I'm giving you $10,000 fake check and then some for years, like, what's punishment for that? In Florida, you go into jail. In Illinois, you go into jail. But in Randall County, nothing will happen to you.
Yeah. So, yeah, great point. So, here's some differences. The business that we're talking about is located in a city, a municipality. So, that police station has jurisdiction over that business or whatever happens in their city. So, if a crime is committed in the city investigates that. If it's outside the city, the sheriff's office investigates it. So, in this case, like you brought up, it's up to the police department to investigate any crimes that happen within their city. You have a sheriff sign, re-election sign in a person's yard with the business that's been brought to light that there's some issues with. So is it overlooked by the city police department? No, it's not overlooked. They're going to answer the calls. They're going to take care of what they have to do. In the bigger picture, if there's a crime committed or being investigated, who investigates that? Well, in this case, it appears to me that the city is not investigating her for anything. It's the sheriff's office who came into a city jurisdiction, which they have jurisdiction throughout the entire county. But as far as I know, the city police department has nothing to do with any of this that's going on. So all of a sudden, things were brought to light and she was charged. And it appears online, and you can check public record, she was charged by the sheriff's office. It's in their jurisdiction, but the police department had no clue about it. So, and then of course, the re-election sign is in the yard. So I can't verify any more than that, but public record, as you know, and others, you can find a lot of things. So are things overlooked? Maybe. Do we need accountability? Yeah.
Would you agree it's a bad look on everyone, like for the whole situation, like because people asking questions, it's a bad look on sheriff's department, it's a bad look on police, it's a bad look because if you look at the victims there, like I've seen clips where police would be coming and poor guy trying to explain to police that he owed $100K, $115,000, and it seems to me that nobody can do anything. And it's my question, I guess how much longer she's gonna get away with it, because people telling me that she's not gonna see the jail time. There's so many loopholes in the system that you can play the system and she's gonna keep doing it. Any comment on that?
Yeah. So, and you brought it up in one of your other posts, the civil part of it and the criminal part of it. So civilly, you think about suing somebody. You think about getting money. That's the civil law. You're going to sue somebody, take them to court, grab assets to recover money and give to people that they're owed. The criminal part, that's the other separation that law enforcement has to step in. Civil, you do on your own. As you know, you sue somebody to retrieve what's owed to you, whether it's money or assets, whatever it may be. The criminality part of it, that's where law enforcement has to step in and make those charges. For reoccurring offenses, that's up to the courts, and we have a great court system here. Our superior court, our district court, our district attorney, we have the backing of that. So law enforcement has to make a case to the district attorney's office and bring it to court criminally. So is it going to stop with this case? It should. You think it should. It should be shut down. Assets should be taken, repaid to people that are owed, and let's move on. And does it put a bad image for law enforcement? Sure it does. Sure it does. How can you have an election sign in your yard and you're known to back the person.
I don't
That's not what I
understand.
would do.
I
That's not
don't
what you would
understand.
do.
I
That's
don't understand it. It's like, and he's so stubborn. He's like, I put it there and it will be there and it's not going anywhere. I'm like, why?
That's the great question. Why? Why? They probably both know why. I don't know why. I think it's a horrible image. It's terrible. And yes, it reflects upon the agency. You got the one person in charge of the sheriff's office for the entire county. And then what you posted, I'm telling you, locally here, bro, it's all over. And
Wow.
thank you for reaching out to me because I didn't know you. I didn't know what was going on. My phone blew up. You're showing this and what's involved. So I'm like, well, people do what they do. But yes, it's a horrible reflection upon the sheriff's office
So
because it
in your
starts with the
opinion,
leadership.
what I'm hearing, so who's ultimately failing here? Is it the sheriff's office, the DA, or the court? So what I'm hearing is more sheriff's office than DAs in the courts, correct? That's what you're thinking?
Yes.
So should outside investigators, state or federal, step in at this point and clear this mess? Because
Okay, so good point. So here in North Carolina, we have the State Bureau of Investigation, the SBI for short. So they can step in and assist or take over from a local agency if requested or if more resources are needed. So if you're not getting what you want or what you need at a local law enforcement, the state SBI can step in if requested by the district attorney's office or the agency that's investigating the case because they don't have the resources, time, or efforts, or want to distance themselves and let an outside agency, which would be the SBI, come in and investigate any matters.
moving forward, if you would be in charge, what would you do today to stop people like Mary Jane selling more jobs? Because it's not just North Carolina. We have scammers in the roofing space all over the country who is taking deposit, running Ponzi schemes, filing bankruptcies. You know, I cover news all over. Some states it's worse, sometimes it's better. I love Florida. In Florida, you take homeowners' money, you go into jail, right? What would you do different and what's your plan to action to stop this kind of frauds?
Right. So great question. So Florida, love Florida. Here's a little bit of throwing politics into the game. Randolph County is a red county, Republican, but our state as a whole and our government as a governor are Democrat. So there you throw politics into the game. It's kind of weird, but it is what it is. So you got to take the politics out of the game. I'm a cop's cop. That's one of the reasons why I'm in this race. I have a 2 point plan, protect and serve. People have other ideas about what to do. Hey, that's great, man. Everybody's got to have ideas. To stop people from doing crimes, that's a tough one. Crime's going to happen every day. It doesn't matter who's in charge of what agency, national, local, state, doesn't matter. Crime is going to happen, but we have to enforce the law fairly. So on this case, has the law been enforced fairly? Well, I don't know because I don't know the inner workings right now, what's going on down there, but it appears that it's not being enforced fairly. So we got to be fair. We got to be equal. We got to lead by example and we got to get the following, the community to report things. If it's not reported to law enforcement can't do anything. We need the people, the citizens, the taxpayers to reach out and say, hey, I think this person's doing something not right. Okay, well, let's document it and let's look into it as a law enforcement perspective because we can't be everywhere all the time. We need people to let us know where to look. And if we look, we find something, we act upon it. Doesn't matter who it is. In this case, I don't know the details, but it has to be fair. It doesn't matter who you are. If you own a business, if you are an elected official, it doesn't matter. The law applies equally across the board.
Agreed. I don't know if you can comment on that. It's kind of not your territory, but in a lot of states, we do have licensing requirements for the contractors. And I know in North Carolina, anything up to $40,000, you don't have to have a license. But in Mary Jane's case, she does not have a roofing license, and she does jobs past 40,000, 100,000, what's not. Seems to me that some laws are in place, even for the contractors, but nobody's enforcing them. Like, and I'm talking to so many contractors, they're also frustrated. Imagine being a good guy, being a roofer and requiring a license on a bigger project and competing with someone like Mary Jane, who's just getting away with everything, like big deposits, big checks, because there's laws just not being enforced. Like, I guess, how do we make contractors more accountable and who governs that over there? Like, if a contractor does something super shady or operates without license, maybe cash, maybe, who knows? Like, how do we make that contractor accountable? What citizens should do if a contractor comes, knock at the door, steals the deposit? What's the proper action, in your opinion, in Randolph County for the homeowner? Where to report them? Does he go? Go to police? Does they go to attorney general? Because people don't know what to do. If money's stolen from them.
Sure. So the first thing I would recommend is you always call the police or sheriff's department, whatever, and at least document it legally that you have a complaint. And right then and there, it's probably going to be a civil matter, but at least they can at least document it, or it's documented that you called the police because you had an issue with somebody. My personal experience here at my house, I found a local contractor in traffic one day. I saw his logo. I called him. He locked my car. We talked. I said, "Hey, can you redo my bathroom?" So he did. It took weeks and he did nothing. And I paid thousands of dollars. So we were not happy with the job. What was I going to do? I don't know. Did I call the police at that? No, I didn't. We just ate it, moved on, got somebody else, finished it. But what do you do exactly? So you got to at least document it. It's still going to be a civil issue here. It's not criminal
When does it
unless.
become criminal? Is that a dollar amount? Isn't it the dollar amount? Like, for example, $100,000. Is it still civil?
So here, if you are in a binding contract, and the contract could be verbal, handshake, could be written on paper, emails, whatever, that would be evidence for your civil case. Because unless you steal, which essentially people are stealing if they're not doing the right job, you still gonna have to go and sue that person. Now, the scam artists out there, they're working that game where they'll take money up front. Hey, yeah, I'll do this job, and the homeowner gives them money, and then they leave and never come back. Well, yeah, that's theft, but it's also civil if you agreed with somebody to do a job they didn't do. It's not necessarily a money limit. Criminally, here is a money limit. If you steal under $1,000, it's a misdemeanor.
But what about if a homeowner, like right now, we do have a few homeowners who gave Mary Jane checks, insurance checks, and no work is done, and she's not doing any work because she's struggling. She's gonna either file bankruptcy, close the business. So the money is exchanged, right? So you do have a contract, but there's no work performed. Isn't it the theft of someone gave me advice yesterday how they should prosecute her? Because if you give money for something and you just steal it straight out, so there's no work dispute, there's no quality of work, it's just like pretty much check, I'm deceiving you to give me money. How do you do in those situations?
Yeah, well, and there again, if there's any binding contract, that's where the civil law comes into play. Yes, just like a scam artist on the phone. Hey, I need this done. Sure, yeah, send me $5,000 right now for materials. Okay, where do I send it? And that person, the homeowner, sends it to that contractor via internet, online, and that person never shows up. They got scammed, but they believed that person to be true that was going to come and do the work. You going to get that money back? No. It's kind of the same means as a scam. And that apparently is what was happening.
What's the punishment for that? Like, if I steal $10,000 from you in Randolph County, will I ever see jail time or a fine or a judgment? Like, what are circumstances for that behavior?
Yeah, so the money does come into effect as far as the amount. If it's under $1,000,
Yeah.
misdemeanor. Over that, yes, it's a felony. But now we're getting into the court system. We're getting into all that, which we don't have control over as law enforcement or as citizens, unless you elect the right people. And there again, like I said, we have a great system here with the DA's office, law enforcement in general. Are you going to receive 10 years in jail? No. Even if you're sued civilly and you're convicted on some criminal offense for fraud, are you going to get your money back? Where are you going to get it from? Because the criminal doesn't have the assets to recoup that. So, as law enforcement, yes, we need to charge people accordingly. And yes, civilly, people need to sue people to recoup what they lost. But a lot of times, they're not going to get the punishment that general people with common sense would think they should.
So what do you think worst case scenario for Mary Jane? Because some people say she'll never see the jail time. She has all these judgments, and just to remind you, it's $1.4 million from local businesses already in judgments, right? Like it's already documented, it's already there. But now we're adding $800,000 from people she did not pay, and unfortunately, she plays the system. She tells everyone, "Sue me, take me to court." She knows it, and you know what I love about this? I absolutely love Taco, that you have social media person, because this works better than the system. This works better than course. They are afraid of social media, of blasting on the internet more than they're afraid of judgments from courts. Like it's true because this damages reputation. And in Minnesota, if you do something like that, I just interviewed a guy yesterday. He testified against his boss. They were manufacturing roofing damage for insurance claims. So pretty much going on the roofs and making a dents and stuff. So his boss is getting charged in October 18, and he told me they're talking about like 10 years he cannot be in the industry, he cannot operate in Minnesota, like complete expel. Like if you do something like that, it's that serious, right? And I love it. It's just one case. They proved like 4 jobs that he did it to, but I love it. I love it when there's either fine, felony, solid record, and 10 years you cannot be in business in this state. That's what I'm looking for. Now, I also understand that we're probably not going to get it with Mary Jane, but my job, like with the media, with what we do, I want to help the good guys sell the jobs against the bad guys. And this is the advantage that we have. So if you're a good guy, I want to promote you from mountaintops. Like I want to tell everyone how good you are. But if you're bad, and also I don't care if you're bad, if you made a bad decision, but you at least have a remorse. Hey, Dimitri, I've done it. I'm sorry. I'll pay people back. I've been dealing with Mary Jane case for 2 months now. I did not see single comment like she's right. She, like, even yesterday after she's been arrested, she comes out and she sends text messages to people like, if I'm going down, you going down, and I'm suing you. And I'm like there's no remorse. She's gonna keep doing what she's doing until she is stopped. That's why we need people like you, who she should be afraid of people in the office. And with the people like Greg Siebold, she's not afraid of no one. It's crazy. I've
No,
never seen anything like that. I've never seen, like, the whole thing is like, oh yeah, Greg Siebold's yard sign is in my front yard and he's not gonna remove it, and we're gonna be best buddies. And what you gonna do about it? We're gonna go to the same church, and guess what? People in that church probably gonna hire her because that pastor, that congregation, like inner circle, people who probably don't have internet.
well, yeah, yeah. So to your point, what should happen to the business? It should be non-existent. It should be
I agree.
shut down. Any assets that could be recouped should be recouped in court, and people should be paid as much as that's recouped from the assets. So the business license, the contractor's license, even a driver's license she doesn't have. All that should be revoked, taken away, of course. And it's not just her. Like I said, fair across the board. Anybody that's doing wrong should be held accountable. Will she keep doing it? Like you just said, she got released, and is sending text messages, which I didn't know, but you shared that, so that's awesome. What's going to stop that? She feels like, I'm guessing, I don't know this, she feels invincible because she's backing the most, and here the sheriff is the most powerful person in law enforcement in the state because they're elected.
Yep.
So representing Randolph County, when you're elected to sheriff, you're the highest law enforcement officer in that county. We have 100 counties. We have 100 sheriffs. Okay. If you're elected, that's power because the people are electing you to put you there. Now, currently, one of the reasons I'm in this race is to show the difference. You want to elect somebody to lead your county as law enforcement, the top official. Here's my credentials. Here's my experience. Compare that and research against other candidates, including the incumbent. Look at my past. Look at what I've posted. And thank goodness for social media. Not everybody has it, like you said. Yeah, so that's a big reason.
How can we help you? How can we help your campaign?
Brother, let me tell you something, Dimitri. You have already helped me. I didn't know you. I didn't look for this. I didn't ask for this. You and your team found me. which is how we're running our campaign. I'm not going out knocking on doors saying, hey, vote for me. I'm so and so. People are coming to me. So I
Love it.
think the timing's right. And for you, man, we're bros. We're bros, man. We're going to talk more. We don't have to do this. Text me, call me. You've done a tremendous amount to help my cause to show people we can do better. And for your outreach alone, people are like, oh my gosh, how did he find Taco Toriello? Who is this guy? And Dimitri, I'm from Jersey, okay? I'm a Jersey boy. I've lived here since 1990, went to law enforcement in 1991, got hired in 1992. My whole adult life, I've served and protected this county, states. I was DA task force for 10 years. I served many states, but that's all I have done is serve. And people now are like, wow, that's what we need here. We need a cops cop. I'm not a politician. Yeah, you got to get elected as a sheriff. That's great. There's the politics. That's my political part. You got to vote for me. That's it. Other than that, I'm a cops cop. I will do everything I can for the businesses. Like you said, if somebody's getting ripped off and they call me, I will have a team of investigators look into it. And if there's something criminal, it's a done deal. If it's something civil, they can handle it on the civil end.
Love it. I have a goal. Next time I'm in Randolph County, I want to work out with you. You're jacked. I can see it.
Let's go, baby. I seen
Let,
your videos, man. You're killing it, bro.
let's do it. So next time I'm in town, I'll reach out. Let's have a breakfast and a workout.
We'll have a breakfast and I'll take you to the zoo. Have you been to the zoo?
Not there. I mean, I've been at the zoo, but not over there. No.
No, bring your family.
Okay.
We'll take you to the zoo. It's the most natural zoo that you've ever seen. They're known for it. And we'll work out. We'll go to the zoo and have a good time.
Love it. Sounds good, sir. Thank you so much for your time today. Good
Yes,
luck.
sir. Thank you, brother.